Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Boy, lots of talk. Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox regarding the Whitecaps and the streaming situation with their games on television. Hopefully we'll get to that later. Meanwhile, it is Tuesday, and all of our guests today, including Ron Toigo of the Vancouver Giants, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. Book your stay at the Bayside and enjoy the many amenities the hotel has to offer, such as oceanfront rooms, free parking, oceanfront restaurant, cafe, indoor and outdoor swimming pools, gym, and more. Call 250-248-8333. That's 8333. Or go to their website, BaysideResortParksville.com. We got Ron? Ron Toigo, majority owner of the Vancouver Giants, is joining us now. Giants and Everett, Rick, tied at 1 after two games of their opening round WHL playoff series. Games 3 and 4, Wednesday and Friday at the LEC. By the way, the Giants finishing the regular season 27 points behind Everett. Ron Toigo joins us now. Ron, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's allowed your team to split those two games down in Everett?
The goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brett Mirwald's been the difference all year for us, and he's goalie of the week 5 times. I don't think we ever had anybody like that, and at this point, right now, he's probably got to be the top 2 or 3 goalies in the entire league.
And Ron, he's 20 years old, undrafted, having a great season for your team. What's in his future?
I think a lot more than was at the beginning of the year. I think there's a couple of NHL teams talking to him right now, and I really think he's going to get signed at some level in pro hockey. And he's one of those late bloomers. He got a chance to be the starter this year, and really ran with it. And he's got the mindset of a goalie, and he's not 6'4", but he's over 6 feet, and he plays today's technical game, and I think he's got a legitimate shot on one of the guys that came at it. I can see him playing in Vegas one day, like where they get their goalies from, and end up winning a Stanley Cup. So, no, he's got a bright future, I think.
As long as he doesn't win that Stanley Cup and they knocked the Canucks off in the earlier rounds. Hey, Ron, but you touched on this. What makes him special right now?
What makes him special?
Yeah.
He's really the same guy he's always been, and he never gets rattled. His calm demeanor. He never gets high. He never gets low. He's consistent, and that's all you're asking for. He's square to the shooter on most shots, and he gets lots of shots. But and I think he relishes lots of shots, but he's prepared for every shot. And to score, the goals that get scored on him are usually 2 or 3 rebounds or 2 or 3 things where you've got to go back and forth. But if he sees you and you're square to him, he'll stop the puck 99% of the time.
Ron, you got a 16-year-old that's pretty special. Cameron Schmidt, 31 goals, broke Gilbert Brulet's records for most goals by 16-year-old. He's going to be a high pick in the draft next year in the NHL draft. What a season he's had, Ron.
Well, what a season, and the way he started the playoffs, within the first minute on a breakaway, he scored to put us up in Everett. That really set the tone to win that first game. He's one of those real exceptional players that come around, every now and then, and not calling him Pavel Bure, but when Bure was on the ice, you always had to pay attention because something's going to happen, and he has that type of a game where his skating is as good as I've seen in a long time, and which says a lot because everybody's a great skater today, and he's probably one of the best in the league at 16. His compete level is as high as anybody's I've seen, and he's determined to he loves scoring, but his skill set, his skating, his ability to shoot the puck where he wants it to go and not just shoot the puck for the sake of shooting it, and the patience he has at this age is something I haven't seen since Gilbert.
Ron, reports indicate that we could be heading to a future where CHL players are going to be able to play in the NCAA. When do you think that's going to happen, and why the change of heart from both sides?
I don't know if there's been a change of heart from either side. I think it's just the evolution of what's happening down at the NCAA. That really, we really won't be part of the equation on why it happens, but I believe it will happen just as a result of what all the changes are happening down there. And you know what, it'll be a benefit to them to be able to get our players at when they're done, because our players leave with a vested scholarship that they can that's portable. They can take it wherever they want to take it, and if that's maybe some of the smaller schools down there would certainly take advantage of it, but. Who knows? It's still evolving. I don't think it's anything's going to happen over the next year or two, but I think it's something that eventually will happen. But more as a result of what's going on down there, as opposed to what we're doing up here.
Would that be a positive or a negative for your group, for the WHL, Ron?
I don't think it's either. I think it's just a different way of doing business, and I'm sure, like all things, there'll be some positives and there'll be some negatives, and once we know what it is, there'll be attributes that come to make it worthwhile, and some they wished, just speculative. I could see, you definitely probably lose players at 20 that you used to keep. But as long as they're around at 19, then it probably works out okay. But again, no idea what's going to unfold here. But it's whatever it is, we will have to learn to work with it and move forward.
Hey, you said something earlier, Ron, and I totally agree with you. Watching a lot of minor hockey, everybody is a great skater today. And again, I know Rick's had kids in minor hockey. He agrees with me. What have you noticed over the last? You've been involved in hockey forever, but what have you noticed over time regarding skating?
Coaching, the level of focus on skating. They start at such a young age. I've got a 3-year-old grandson that's actually going to hockey schools and skating already, and they start so young now, and that's by the time they're 5 or 6, they're skating like we never skated because they have so much abilities, but it's just there's so much focus on it. The U.S. I think started that trend way before Canada did, where it was all about skating, and the Europeans for that matter, but the Canadians are certainly caught up and surpassed a lot of them now, where we always focused on a team practice, on checking, more about the physicality of it, and the skating was just one of those things that you worked on your own time. Now skating is a big part of practice, and edges and edge control and all those things that nobody ever talked about before is all part of it. Then it makes a better game. It's a quicker game. It's it's more injuries because you're going faster when you contact each other. There's more damage done, but it's a much better game, I think, to watch when the guys are able to show off those skills that they do have.
And one more before I let you go. I know you follow. I know you're owner of the Giants. You're involved in the Giants, but I know you follow the Canucks. And any thoughts on the Canucks 2.5 weeks before the playoffs?
They are an unreal regular season team. Toronto Maple Leafs have been like that too. The playoffs is such a different animal. It's the only sport where the rules change when the playoffs start. Where the officiating is dramatically different than it was in the regular season. And I don't know why it is that way, but like the NFL, the officiating is the same in the Super Bowl as it was, in Game 3. The ability to get in the way of those guys, to hold them up and not let those guys that are flying all over the ice get through, I think will hurt their game to some extent. But we got one guy that understands that aspect of the game. It's their head coach that's been through a lot of them. Yeah. And I'm sure he'll have them ready for it. And if Demko's healthy and good to go, I like their goaltending over everybody else's.
All right. I think this interview went well, Ron, which means stand by your phone. Dollywall is going to call you in about 5 minutes for tickets Wednesday and Friday. Just so you know. All right?
Hey, Ronnie, I'm thinking about coming out Wednesday. I'm thinking about it. It's on the menu.
Yeah.
It's on the menu.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll get the crown on.
Tell them to line up like everybody else.
No, I'll be texting you right after the show. Right after, Ronnie. Get those tickets ready.
Okay. Thanks, Ron.
All right. Good stuff, guys. Thanks.
Good luck.